following podcast is brought to you exclusively by the Rad Rob Radio Network.
On this edition of Straight Up 5 with Johnny Petraglia Jr., we welcome three-time PWBA Regional Champion Karsyn Lukosius. Carson has been on a roll as of late, winning 3 out of the first 4 PWBA Regional Championships. We'll also be talking about the World Series of Bowling that happened last week. We'll be talking about this week's Tournament of Champions, including Johnny's favorite bowler, Brad Miller, leading the pack heading into match play. And of course, we will have the Imbecile of the Week. Straight Up 5 starts now.
This is PBA champion Kyle Troop.
Hey y'all, Jacob Wetrup here.
Jeff Riggles here from 11thframe.com.
Hey guys, Chuck Ritchie here, formerly of Bowl TV.
Hey guys, this is Ryan Schaefer of track staff at Valley Bowling Center in Waverly, New York.
And you're listening to Straight Up 5 with Johnny Petraglia Jr.
Yo, the boys from Straight Up 5, Rad Rob, Dr. Ocho, and of course, JP Jr.
Pick it out. Fear the fro, baby.
Welcome to Straight Up 5 with Johnny Petraglia Jr. A hard-hitting, in-depth, cutting-edge look into the world of bowling. This podcast will not only cover all things bowling, but will also give you a raw look into real-life issues. You'll get unfettered access into the mind of one of the most gifted bowlers of this or any other generation.
Strike, and they claim it. Somebody does it!
So without further ado, let's introduce you to the hosts of the show. Rad Rob Francois. Rad Rob Francois. Dr. Ocho. And the incomparable Johnny Petraglia Jr. Johnny Petraglia Jr.
Hey guys, welcome back to Straight Up 5 with Johnny Petraglia Jr. I'm your host, Rad Rob Francois. It is episode 113, and we have a very special guest. In my haste to create a graphic for tonight's guest, because I'd already put out the show description, Johnny messaged me about 10 minutes later and says, hey, Carson will do the show tonight. Unfortunately, I spelled... I put WPBA when it should be PWBA. That's on me. Crambone, what's going on? Pete Cow's in the house. Valerie, good evening, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Before we get to our special guest tonight, let's introduce my first co-host. He is the man with a brand new mask, by the way, which I know there's going to be some fans of that. There's lots of fans of the Ocho. He is the resident doctor of Straight Up 5. He is the one and only Dr. Ocho. What's going on, Och? Wow, your camera looks more pixelated than, well, I won't go there. What's going on, bro? I like the new mask.
What mask?
You have a 0 on your head.
My average. That's how many people want to bowl me, basically.
That's your handicap, bro. That's how good you are. Also sitting next to you, I see a shadow. Is that our fearless leader, Mr. Johnny Petraglia Jr.? Here he is, the sexiest man in the world, Johnny Petraglia Jr. What up, JP?
So glad to be back. I feel like I missed a huge chunk of my life last week by not being here. So it's great to be back. Life is good. Haven't been at the Ocho residence, I think, since February. So, looking forward to, stoked about our show tonight because of all the guests we've had, this guest to me is like, I get to witness her greatness weekly. And it's just really, really cool to me to watch a friend just absolutely kicking ass. So I'm super, super stoked about our guest tonight.
And happy birthday, Nicole. It actually was Nicole's birthday like a week. We made it a year.
Yeah, happy birthday, Nicole.
1 week we miss in like 100 something episodes.
Good job, guys.
Nicole's
Good job.
real birthday.
We really dropped the ball on that one. Yes, I'm excited too. Everyone is here. Brad's here. Stangman is here. Good evening, James Bryan. Del Picard's in the house. All right. Let's not waste any more time. Here is a highlight package of our very special guest. What, Ocho?
Not you.
He's mad at me because I asked.
I'm sorry.
To expand. So.
There's no more expansion going on with us two jacked mofos.
Here's the highlight package from our guest, Carson Lukosius.
Go.
Slower. We have a champion here in Myrtle Beach, Carson Lukosius, her first title here on the PBA Tour, and it's the first one of the season. Congratulations, Carson. What a match. What an absolute great match that was. Yeah, we were talking earlier, it's only a matter of time when Carson wins out here, and, well, you know what? She took care of that early in the season. And it's sinking in now. You can tell she's realizing what just happened. I just won. Finally did it.
Did not allow her stubbornness to get the best of her by not making the ball change when she needed to make it. She made it, right, in the finals. Yep. And here she is. Yep. Trusted her equipment, made the changes, committed to them. Yep. She made all good shots, really. A couple of them looked like of all the actions that she made the adjustment. Ironically enough, she had a bad game qualifying at the Myrtle Beach region. And she had a repeat, literally. She's old, terrible, middle of the block, Myrtle, runs the ladder, wins the region. So bad, middle of the block here in Pennsylvania, runs the ladder, wins the region. And there it is. 259, 195. Beautiful. Carson Lukosius, your champion.
Once again, great bowling to all the step ladder finalists. Great crowd here in Rhode Island. Infamous belt here at East Providence, Queens. And we'll bring her in the booth shortly afterwards.
Please welcome our very special guest, Carson Lukosius. Good evening, Carson. Thank you for being here. How are you tonight?
Of course. Thanks for having me. I'm great. I can't stop smiling after seeing all those videos.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. It's been remarkable to see your success so far, and we're only in April. I know you guys are taking a break until July, but have you wrapped your head around the fact that you've won 3 out of the first 4 tournaments? That's unheard of.
Yeah. And, I only have bowled the 3 of them, and I'm 3 for 3. So it's an insane, unreal feeling. But I'm so unbelievably happy. Can't stop smiling. And hi, Stephanie.
Stephanie is so glad you're on tonight.
Yeah. I'm just overwhelmed by the support. It's been great, and I'm excited to see what I do next.
I wasn't aware you didn't bowl the 4th one, so 3 for 3. It's ridiculous. And back to back, right?
Yes. Yep.
Dude, Johnny, that's stupid good, dude.
It's undoubtedly awesome. So I guess my first question is because I've only been home for just about 8 months, and it seems like, well, first of all, I would just like to publicly point out that I did bowl 300 at Halloween's this year against Carson. So that's at least my claim to fame in this entire thing.
You did.
It's like the only good game that I actually bowled all season. But I guess, Carson, my very, very first question for you is, aside from the talent of both mom and dad, I mean, what kept your interest in the sport of bowling? Let's just start there. Let's just take it real basic. What kept your interest in bowling? We know how it started. When did you know how good you were, I guess is the question.
Yeah, of course. I'm an athlete. I consider myself an athlete, so I like doing sports. My sister and I were very fortunate enough at, young age up until now. I mean, we've been involved in soccer, softball, bowling, of course, and just the passion that I've seen my parents have for the sport and the passion and the support that we receive from them, I think has kept me invested in the sport. And I feel like, my sister and I picked up the game pretty quickly because we had two good coaches and, we both bowled collegiately. And, I think I'm a little bit more competitive than my sister. She's the calm one. But
He's the calm one?
yeah, she's the calm one. But yeah, I mean, they've passed their love and passion down, to my sister and I. And yeah, I think that's basically, I give all of my, learnings and, everything that I am doing back to them. They're the ones that got me started in the sport. So.
I'm looking over in the chat, and Jerry Johnson actually asked, what do you attribute your success to? And it kind of sounds like that's the question you just answered. And I guess that was also the question I was trying to ask. So thank you so much for that. But
of course,
the success at your level so far, I guess my biggest question for you is, you're not just winning these tournaments in close calls. There's not a bunch of people that are – you're basically Mika at the PBA 50 event this week. Mika's out averaging the second-place guy by 30 pins this week after 14 games. And when you look at your qualifying scores and you look at your margin of victory in the title matches, I guess what's so impressive to me is you have the exact same demeanor in Monday nights at Howell that you do bowling for a PWBA championship. I would think, as an outsider looking in, that a lot of your success is due to how strong you are mentally. Do you is that just come naturally to you, or are you aware of it? Is it something you work on the entire time you're on the lanes and off? Like, what's going on there?
Yeah, definitely. I have, I definitely worked on that. I mean, when I was younger, I would get so frustrated easily all throughout high school with my mom being my coach during high school. So that was fun.
Listen, I understand.
If I looked at her the wrong way, she'd be like, all right, you're out. But yeah, over the years, I bowled 4 years collegiately at Fairleigh Dickinson University. And, I learned to control my mental game. I actually took sports psych in college, and I really feel that my game is excelling after, bowling collegiately. I mean, I learned a lot there, and I'm thankful for that experience. But I'd say, yeah, my mental game, I mean, there's some moments I do get frustrated, but I know when to take that step back. And especially in my first regional title, we went a roll-off like 3 times. And it was just, I wasn't even nervous, I'll be honest. I mean, I just, was in the moment, making good shots, and if the pins fall my way, they fall my way. So I'm definitely proud of how far my mental game has come. So
it's extremely impressive, especially to, I don't know if we have anybody else, at least in the chat or listening tonight, that's as crazy in the brain as I am, because my hands are sweating on the first shot of league night. It's the craziest thing. If there was one thing I wish I could control, and one thing I'm super envious of, it's mental stability, especially when it comes to trying to perform at the top of your class in anything that you do. Carson, I'm not going to call you a stroker. I'm not going to call you a cranker. I'm not even going to call you a tweener. To me, when I watch you bowl, you're almost like a David Ozio or like a Brian Voss. You're doing anything at any time, which is another one of the reasons why you're so good. But do you even have a comfort zone? Like, you're going to go practice, let's say, before the start of a tournament, and is there like a spot that your feet go to naturally? Or what are you looking at? Like, is there a zone that's like, oh my God, this is Carson's A game? This is like getting a low and in if you're Ken Griffey Jr. type shit.
Yeah, I hate playing straight. Hate playing up the gutter. I don't do that well. I'm not afraid of it. I'll do it if I have to, if the pattern requires it. But yeah, typically, like, my comfort zone is playing in, like, around third arrow. So I like to see the ball hook. I like knowing I can hook it. I like the ball reaction that I get when I hook it. But yeah, definitely like my comfort zone's in around like 15, third to fourth arrow in there.
That's badass. I always ask I always ask the elite that question just to almost, I guess, kind of normalize it. Does that make sense?
It's not just you, right? It's everybody.
You know, I mean, I would ask EJ Tackett the exact same question. Like, where do your feet want to go? I mean,
there's got to be a starting point for everybody, or like a go-to for everybody where you have to. Like hitting on the driving range. I always start with a pitching wedge. I don't know why, but I do. It's just that's my go-to.
JJ wants to know which of your tournament wins meant the most: the first, the last, the middle.
I think the second one meant the most in Pennsylvania because both my parents were there. Sorry, Maddie. So a little background real quick. My mom and my sister were in Myrtle Beach for the first one. My mom and dad were in Pennsylvania for the second one. And my sister was there in Rhode Island with me for this past one over the weekend. So, I definitely think, having both my parents there, that obviously meant a lot. But as soon as I won, I looked over at my dad and he's like sobbing. I'm just like, aw. Yeah. So I definitely the second one in Pennsylvania.
Troy Lint, fellow Pennsylvanian in the house. Good evening, Troy.
Oh yeah.
He just put up 34 and 12. Is that your match play record?
Is that your match play record, Carson? 34 and 12.
Sorry, you guys cut out. What'd you say?
Oh shit! Troy said
34 and 12.
Is that your match play record, or what is he telling us right now? What is that?
I don't know. What is that, Troy?
Troy, nobody knows what you're talking about.
Come on, Troy.
The Steelers aren't playing.
Get it together,
Maybe the
Troy.
Steelers are up 34 to 12 and something.
I like
what a great comment by Fancy right there.
Oh
That's
my
what
God.
it reminds me of too, Fancy. Spot on. It's
You
can literally do anything you want. It's spot on.
Aw, Fancy, that was so nice. Thank you.
Heck yeah. That's
We
awesome.
love Fancy. She's a great fan of our show as well. Troy said that's okay. Apparently that's Troy's starting point, I guess.
Oh, all right. So Troy likes his feet around 34 break points. Well, I'm assuming he's not throwing it to 12 at the arrows. So, yeah, totally, Troy. Troy, me, it's like 37, 38 to 12. So, absolutely.
Oh,
I know it's like
it's like 3.
5.
It's either 3. If I have a look on 3 or like starting at 37, I'm golden. Anywhere in the middle, I'm going to shoot 580. Always. Just think.
Mike Val's wife, Jackie's in the house. Good
Oh, hi,
evening, Jackie. Your game is
Speaking of
amazing.
which,
You can watch her all
Mike
day.
Val with the post of the year with Carson's fat head.
Oh my
Yes.
Let's be honest. That was so badass. Or maybe the muscle flexion with the belt on.
You know what? Shout out to Eric Nilsson because he paid money to get a fat head of my face. And he claims he doesn't like me. No,
You're a tough person not to like, Carson. And Eric, nice work on the fat head, my friend. That's fucking awesome. Yo, folks, good to see you. First timer and great person. I don't know if that's father or son, but they're both awesome. I hate that his son is better than me at bowling and golf. But
they're actually in the building right now.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm at Howard right now. Yeah.
Carson, Ocho and I were talking outside before the show started because we were talking about your success this year. Do you have plans to be bowling the entire WBA national swing? What are your plans?
Yeah. So, I've had a commitment to a nationals team for the past few years where we can only have one pro on the team, and our pro is Alicia Current. So I love the group that I go out with. We have a good time. We're able to compete. We all bowl well together. So I do have that commitment again this year. We're actually going to Reno next week. I'm flying out there on Sunday. But yeah, who knows? Winning is fun. It's definitely making me hungrier to compete on the national level. And I wish there was, more stuff locally, but the tour season schedule is more Midwest. So I don't know. We'll see. Yeah.
I'd like to see if you could just win the rest of them. Honestly, I think we all want to see that.
Tell me there's a chance.
I think I would freak out. I don't know what I would do.
I mean, you don't want to go in there with expectations like, all right, I've won 3 out of 4. I mean, you don't want to get too big of a head, which obviously.
Well, yeah, the bar is set awfully high at this point, so clearly we're going to be. We still have to be grounded.
I mean, if you win one more, I think 4 is the all-time record, if I'm not mistaken.
It is, yeah.
She's trending,
but it's also
man.
nice. It's nice, I have a full-time job, and it's nice not, really relying on bowling to make a living. And, I give props to the men and the women that do that, and they're successful that way. But it's also nice having a steady income elsewhere. So
the cushion doesn't hurt at all, and maybe that does help the mental faculties.
What a fantastic point.
Because think about it, you're bowling to eat, but most people are, is what I'm like you're saying, and you can take that pressure off. Like, I'm going to eat tonight. If plus 150, I'm still good, which could help the brain a little bit.
Yeah.
It's amazing that it's such a breath of fresh air to hear you say that, because we talk about that on this show all the time. If there's one guy who's on the verge of, say, making a cut and last cash is, I don't know, $1,000, and he's teetering between, oh my God, if I don't throw this strike, not only can I not get home, I can't even get a hotel room tonight.
Right.
Against the guy who's going back to his hotel room to see he's answering a work email or he's planning his next trip, whatever it may be, somebody who's a little bit more stable, it's an entirely different mindset. I think one of the coolest things, Carson, I don't know if you ever bowled, but for me, one of the greatest things in the world for my brain, and anybody in the comments that feels this way, please let me know. I don't care if I'm bowling somebody for $1 or for $10,000 in a 10-game sprint. If the money is on the line, that's when I actually bowl my best. When my back is against the wall, that's when my mind actually finally calms down. It's what's expected of me in the interim or the start of an event where my brain goes berserk. It has too many things to think about. If you put somebody with a killer mentality like yours or somebody like Walter Ray, just because Fancy's in the chat, if you give somebody with that capability, that availability in their brain to be that in the moment, it's the coolest thing in the world. And when I used to bowl action, I used to drive to Van Ness Lanes in the Bronx at fucking midnight with a 30-pack of White Castle burgers with John Rubio and bowl for every dollar I had in my bank account. And if I lost, Alex Cavagnaro would have to drive me to get home. It's that kind of mentality is the only way that my brain operates, like somebody like yours or somebody like a Walter, like we just mentioned, somebody like a Jason Couch. And I don't even know where I'm going with this. Another Johnny Randall. This is what happens, yada, yada. There was some kind of a point in here, guys. I'm really, really sorry. Let's get back to Carson. Rob?
I think what you were trying to say is, hell, I don't know. We should call you
I
Johnny.
guess what I was trying, it was more like, because she said like she has a fail-safe, basically. She's got her job. Right. It's the life, and not that she doesn't want to bowl well. Who doesn't want to bowl well? But life doesn't end if she throws a flat 10 instead of a strike. If there's enough cushion there where she does get to go out on tour, it still might not end. And that might make her carry that 10 pin rather than leave a flat 10 pin.
Rob, can you bring up Fogue's question for Carson?
Yes, I can. In your young career, what's the biggest highlight so far?
My young career. I mean, obviously the 3, regional wins, but, and this is one of the most important and biggest thing, and I've been telling people that, have been asking how I'm feeling. I'm telling them, to stay patient because, I never made Team USA as a junior, or I never did well at junior gold. I mean, my best year at junior gold was my very last year I made match play. So I think it's all clicking, and the overall goal and motto right now is just stay patient because things are coming and this is what you worked for. And when you get there, it's an amazing feeling.
I mean, you've basically been bowling your entire life, but I mean, as far as your recent success this year, are you just seeing the lanes better? Are you just focused more? I mean, is there something that you're doing differently that you didn't do before, or what do you think your success right now is attributed to? Just with winning 3 of the last 4.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely getting better. I mean, I have been getting better over the years with seeing, how the lanes are playing, the equipment that I'm using, and, just overall making moves quicker and trusting. I had a few downfalls in the regionals that I bowled. I mean, my low game in Myrtle Beach was 139. And then my low game in Pennsylvania, I had like a 150 game in there. So I'm still learning. I mean, those games should not happen, but they do. And, overall, I just, can get better with all of bowling layouts and bowling balls and what they do and what I need. And yeah, so.
What's your go-to ball right now?
The Virtual Energy Blackout.
That seems to be everyone's favorite right now.
There is a new one coming, so I'm excited.
Yeah, we saw that a lot during the World Series with the men this week. A lot of virtual blackouts. When did you become a Storm member?
2019. So I've been with them for 5 years now.
Nice. We're unfortunately we're fans of Brunswick on this show because of Johnny's dad, but we still support all bowling brands. How happy were you when you signed with them?
I was really happy. Yeah. I threw, a variety of bowling balls growing up, but up until college, our college team was sponsored by Storm, so I started to throw more Storm and Rotogrip, and now that they acquired Global, Global has a great line. So, yeah, I mean, I've had success with Storm. I mean, so it's been a good 5 years so far. So.
We're not fans of any brand. I'm a fan of whatever free bowling ball I get from somebody. So we're non-denominational here. Like, we're not going to just be a Brunswick family because somebody just happened. Their bowling balls are round and they hit the pins. And if I get one for free, I'm a fan of it. I'm just letting you know. Yep. So don't make you feel uncomfortable with that.
I wasn't trying to.
You don't give me this, we're a fan of, so I know you're a Storm person, but you got to say that's bullshit.
Well, you've never paid for a bowling ball in your life, Oaks.
Exactly. And that's what will happen for the rest of my life because this is what I do.
That's true. He
Just
doesn't work that.
So anyway, but we don't have to. We are not offended that you're a Storm or whoever product. So you do you be you. Whatever Rob says is bullshit now.
Ocho just likes he's a shit stirrer. That's what he does. Johnny, I was gonna ask this question for you, but
he said well, we're a fan of Brunswick here, so I know you're I'm like,
did she pick the blackout? Was that the ball?
Yeah, she did. That's her favorite ball right now.
Do you have a lightning blackout, and are you excited about that one? Oh my god.
I'm very
high school
excited.
Colors, let's go.
Yeah, I can't wait to draw one of those. Yeah. So
I saw Shota throwing it on the show, and I'm like, they're not allowed to throw overseas balls in a PBA event. I'm like, oh no, that's a fucking Lightning logo. That's a USA ball. I'm so goddamn jealous of Storm right now. It's stupid. Sorry, Brunswick. I love all 7 of our brands. And I'm assuming it's got to smell like heaven. It's got to be like a pina colada.
It probably smells. Yeah, it probably smells amazing. Yeah.
It smells like winning.
It smells
like money. Yeah. It smells like money.
Hashtag Stormnation.
Johnny always asks this question, just in case he forgets. I'll ask it for him. What's your favorite bowling ball of all time?
Yes, I ask every legend that's on our show that question.
Of all time is the Storm Physics. That ball is way discontinued, but I'm on my 3rd or 4th one, and I'm like dying to find another one from someone that I can buy because that ball is just so it's so smooth. It's like perfect for me. Like no matter what pattern I'm bowling on, I feel like I could strike with it.
Anybody listening or watching, if you can find one for her, please get in touch with us or her. And
Carson, are you strictly the Physics, or are you a fan of the Astro or the Proton?
I hated the Proton. I love the Astro, and I hate the infinite physics. It's weird. Yeah. So original physics. Yeah.
When I had my stores with Bowlers Mart in Vegas, good old Matt Freiberg, when that physics came out, we drilled 2 of them for him, and he bowled some kind of PBA event in the arena at the Plaza at South Point, and I fell in love with that ball. It's so ironic that you mentioned that ball of all the balls you've thrown. There was a brief period in my life where I was actually contracted by Storm for a couple of years, like Mullison's. And to this day, of every bowling ball I've ever drilled, my favorite bowling ball of all time, which Jen Russo, if you're here, or Angela Olszewski, if you're here, is the good old Blue Thunder. I don't know if you are even close to old enough to even know what that ball is. I would give anything to have a Blue Thunder in my bag, and I would definitely throw it, even if it meant losing my contract. Said it out loud. Said it out loud. Said it out loud.
You know, so in college, actually, so Leslie and Parker recommended this one ball, and this was the only Brunswick ball that I've thrown. It was the Brunswick Fanatic. It was a pretty light blue color. It was a weaker ball, but yeah, I threw that, I want to say, freshman and sophomore year. I had that in my bag, and then I think we signed the contract with Storm like junior and senior year, but I like that ball. Yeah, so.
It's pretty safe to say, just based off what you're saying, and correct me if I'm wrong, do you not like bowling balls that tread early? Because typically Brunswick balls will always set up a little bit sooner, and I had a Fanatic too, and you know me being no thumb, I really like the motion of that Fanatic. It reminded me of a high rope.
Yeah.
And you said you don't like the Proton, so do you just – and you don't like playing the gutter. So do you shy away from, like, tumbly balls? You're always looking for down lane motion in some regard? Is that somewhat correct?
I mean, I think I have a slower ball speed, so I do like something that's a little bit cleaner in the fronts in the mid lane, and then that picks up in the back when the ball slows down, obviously. So, yeah.
You know, I guess I – question, because I actually don't ask – I've never asked anybody this on the show. Like, my dad won't change the surface of a bowling ball. He just won't do it. He hates it, right? That's really, really old school mentality to some extent. Me, if I throw a bowling ball 2 times and I don't like the motion, I've got a pad on it. Are you a big surface changer? Are you a big layout reliant bowler? In other words, do you put the same layout in all of your equipment? I mean, like, what is your bowling ball maintenance routine, I guess, is my question.
Yeah, I typically have like the same layout on like all my bowling balls. I drill with like a stronger pin, and I do like playing with surface. I mean, I like to see the ball hook. So if I'm not getting the reaction that I want, obviously I'm going to pull out an Aberlon pad and make it hook. That's what they're there for. So.
Damn right.
Johnny, when did those come out? Because God, I haven't bowled competitively in many, many years. They didn't have Aberlon pads. I think 2010 was the last year I bowled, and either I didn't know about it or they weren't out yet.
You know, I can give you like a time frame, but not an actual year that it came out, because the big thing back then was you just hit with Scotch-Brite. You would hit with a green pad, a red pad, you know, sandpaper to some extent.
Take it to the pro shop, and
yeah, they made the process a little bit easier. It made the process a little bit easier. I mean, especially if you wet sand it, you never have to see any lines or scrape marks on the ball. They're not as coarse as 20 years, I would say. 20 years since Brunswick tried Sire pads, which was their answer to Aberlon in 2008. So give it, 20 years or so. I would say pads have been out.
Gotcha.
And they are between pads and chamois. I mean, those are like the 2 most important things in the sport right now. If you don't have a chamois, or you don't have pads, you have no chance, right? So, yeah, that's my really long, unabridged answer to the very simple question you asked, because I'm fucking crazy.
Okay. Yeah, so you are. But thank you for pointing that, because I never knew that. Carson, how long have you and Johnny known each other?
Since I was maybe like 7 or 8, like 20 something years, maybe. Yeah.
Tell you the truth, until now, and even now, I have my closest connection to the Lukosius family is with Mike, is with Dad. That's always been kind of the guy that I go to for advice. And, every time when I was in Vegas, he would come out, he'd always hit me up. We'd always go out to eat together. But I guess through that, I feel a certain sense with Carson, even though we don't know each other, in the respect that, say, Mike and I do. Mama Dukes, Kara, one of the greatest. I'm not even going to fucking say left-handed because I hate when people say that.
Doesn't matter.
One of
good or
the
bad.
greatest bowlers to ever grace the state of New Jersey, ever. I was a little bit too envious of her growing up to ever go up to her and say hi. So I would always just oh my God, fanboy, it's Mama Luke's. And but Mike was always the guy that took care of me. So I guess through my connection with your mom and dad is, I guess, what at least makes our friendship and bond as strong as it is. But yeah, since she was a kid, you always knew she was going to be legendary. So to answer your question.
Now, it's not exactly the same level, but obviously, Johnny, you growing up in your dad's footsteps, and you felt like you had to kind of carry on the name. Carson, have you felt any pressure of that as well, growing up to kind of live up to your parents' careers?
Great question.
Yeah, I want to follow in their footsteps. They're both in the state Hall of Fame. They're both in the county Hall of Fame, Monmouth County, New Jersey. So. Yeah, I'm trying to be like them, trying to be better.
Seem to have make it pretty easy on you though, because they support you to the fullest. And you had mentioned earlier your most memorable regional win was when they were both there, if I stand corrected. So I mean, you've handled the added pressure pretty phenomenally to this point, and we're really looking forward to seeing what you're doing with it moving forward. Aubrey's so nice. Who's Aubrey? Hi, Aubrey, watching on YouTube. Which box do we have? 5 seconds.
I don't know, Rob, you're the host. Can we do the plugs at least for
plug it? Plug it.
So hold on 1 second. I think
wait, don't plug it.
If I'm correct, the Aubreys. So I played soccer with their daughter, one of their daughters, Randy, when I was younger, and if I'm correct, this might be the family. They live in Myrtle Beach now. And
cool.
Yeah, hi Aubrey family.
That's really cool.
You never
know who's coming on straight up 5. So at least we got the plugs in.
Shit. Yeah.
Right.
If you guys here watching on Johnny's Facebook page, if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, it is Straight Up 5 Podcast. Please give us a subscription. Check out all of our live videos. If you don't see a lot of videos in the video section, just click on the live tab and you'll see all of our past live streams. George Hart says, "Let's go, girl." What's going on?
We also have a audio podcast, by the way.
George, it's so bad. George, it's so bad.
Needs a haircut.
I won't let anybody else touch it. I'm coming to see you soon.
I actually just got my hair cut. You can tell.
Oh, yeah, it looks great.
Clearly. And we do have an audio podcast, Rob, too, with where you want to maybe leave a 5-star review on the Apple iTunes or wherever podcasts are found under your seat and your microphone, Rob.
Literally anywhere podcasts are found. Ocho finds them quite frequently in his pool filter. Yes, you can.
I
check
didn't
out
put the antifreeze in it. That's why I found a bunch of podcasts.
All
man
podcast
who
apps.
manscapes my domes so I look homeless. And meanwhile, shout out to Al for having an undrilled Fanatic, which unfortunately Carson right now, but I can definitely hit you up for it. Jordan, that I wanted to say out loud.
George said
who the bowling ball gimmick thing? Rob, who won the bowling ball? Did we ever do that?
Doesn't matter. We'll talk about that.
We
don't have a wonderful.
Yeah, I'm going on the flying by the seat of my Manscaped pants.
Schwanka, fantastic.
We'll get back to that at some point. Yeah.
Do you have something to ask, or is it my turn to ask?
It's your turn, Johnny.
It's my turn.
It's your show.
Yeah, I understand.
Literally
that.
your
Seriously,
literally your show.
I'm trying to think of the next question I have for Carson that I actually want to know the answer to. Let's see.
Get deep, man.
Hold on.
Get in there.
Hold on.
Like training regimen, something, man. Get in there. Like, how do you
that's a good
focus?
one.
Like, geez.
That's a good one. There's something that goes unnoticed and is highly not talked about in our sport as much as it possibly could be. Carson, you're in fantastic shape, and that speaks kudos to anybody in any sport. Do you have a training regimen other than bowling? You said you were an athlete, you played soccer, you did all these other things. So is there something you do to try and keep your tool in check? You could say no. It's fantastic if you say no.
I'm just blessed. I don't know.
I mean, because if you're bowling, you're still using your bowling muscles. It's not an issue.
My friends are laughing at me.
Good. Let them laugh. It's fantastic.
Here comes my friend Diana. Hi.
Hi, Diana.
That's the best.
Hi, Johnny. No, I mean,
Who am I looking at?
I played soccer.
Who was it? Was that Diana?
That's Diana.
Was that Diana? Diana, get
Yeah.
back in here. Say hello to Straight Up 5 and all of its family. Speaking of
just
wonderful
left.
people, Diana, get your ass back in there. She's gone. Never mind.
Diana, come here.
Damn it.
She bounced. Oh, she's coming. She's coming.
When she comes back.
Should she turn her phone sideways if she's on her phone? Like, should we do like a? Oh, there she's back.
Everybody here at Straight Up 5, there's good old Diana.
I've
She's
seen
the
her
best.
before. I've seen her
She
on
beat me by
Thursdays.
107 pins the first game yesterday.
I've seen her on Thursdays. She doesn't bowl in my league. She knows better.
Actually, no. I bowled 161 and you bowled 246. It was about 100 pins. And that's not a joke. So, yeah.
They're laughing at me because they know I don't go to the gym. I mean, no.
Ocho wants to
seriously.
know if you turn your phone sideways, if we could see more of you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, hold on. Wait.
We could have asked you this 40 minutes ago.
Hello?
No, I think we're logged in now. That's
No, go back the other way.
I go
Ocho,
to the gym
read it.
sometimes. Can
No,
you
that's
see me
all
now?
right. It's all right. Go the other way.
Turn
See
the
my
phone the
guts?
other way. No, turn the phone the other
Actually,
way.
we do see more. It's just it's your sideways now. No, that wasn't. If you had logged in if you had logged in that way, we would have been good. But that's all right. And that was
Am I
badass.
okay?
With your guns. We
You're
saw
fine.
everything.
You're
Yeah.
Carson, do you have if you're not going to be on the tour for the entire season, do you have plans for the summer other than obviously UBA? Are you a summer league bowler? Do you stay in tune over the summer, only bowl tournaments? What's up?
Yeah. So I'm going to Reno Sunday for Women's Nationals. Then I come back home, and then I go to the Queens next month in Green Bay. And then I come back home, and then I have about a month and a half off. I mean, I'll probably bowl some local stuff, but I do a Thursday night league in the summer. And then I'll be going out to the Lucy doubles in Texas in July.
Who's your partner?
Sean Riccardi.
No shit.
Friend of the show.
No shit.
Yeah. We've been
What a
bowling together.
deadly
This
team
is our,
that is.
This is our third year, and Diana's coming with me this year. She's going to be my number one fan.
Is Sean over 120 pounds yet?
No.
Or no, he's not, right? He's still.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Sean's real.
I took an X-ray of
real
Sean.
little.
He was actually see-through, literally.
This is not a
kidding.
joke, by the way. This is not a
It
joke.
passed
Oh
right
my
through. There was
God.
nothing there. I told him. I said, Sean, I got nothing. You're literally clear.
All right, so two things we've learned already is that Carson's a natural born winner, and she doesn't need to train. She's just blessed. So
I go to the gym sometimes.
yeah, me too.
To make fun of all the people working out, saying, ha, 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 I don't have to do that shit.
100%.
No, I'm not like that. No.
I do that.
Who
Christ, I can do that.
who were your role models in bowling growing up? Any pros that you emulated or looked up to?
Yeah, I mean, I always thought it was cool, growing up my mom, my parents have always been a big fan of Johnny and Parker. So it's, it's pretty cool that they grew up locally with us. But for me, I thought it was always so cool that, Danielle McEwen went to Fairleigh Dickinson also. So I've always respected her as a bowler and loved to see her win. And yeah, so.
Johnny, any follow-ups or anything else? We have to get Carson out of here and finish our show.
I picked somebody like Danielle because another great friend of mine. I had the pleasure of practicing with her in West Haverstraw at I forgot the name of the bowling alley. Goddamn, High Tor Lanes, and very similar mentality to you, Carson, and also extremely versatile. So it's actually no surprise to me why you would, look up to somebody like that or try and chase somebody like that. When you were younger, say before Danielle and before obviously all the local heroes, when you first watched bowling, I don't care if it's men, were there anybody else, let's say even a generation prior, like when you were a baby, like when you were, a kid, like, oh my God, I got to go home and turn on bowling on Saturdays? Does it for you with Danielle? Because when Danielle bowled for FDU with Erica Perez, now Erica Kreitz as the anchor, and I remember watching the two of them and saying, my God, they have something special. Are there any other idols or anything you tried to actually model your own game after, I should say?
I don't know. I don't really remember watching bowling too much when I was younger. I mean, my parents, they probably had it on, but I don't know. I mean, obviously, like Kelly Kulick, too. I mean, she's phenomenal. She's from New Jersey. It's bittersweet being from the same state as her. And, Shannon O'Keefe, she's a force to be reckoned with. So a lot of respect for her and, her collegiate teams. I got the opportunity to bowl against her, coaching her teams in college. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know.
That's perfect.
That's fine. That's perfectly fine. What are your aspirations for the future? Would you like to be full-time on the national tour? What do you see yourself doing, say, in the next 5 years?
I would like to, within the next 5 years, at least 1 year, bowl full-time, join the PWBA, Rookie of the Year, maybe. But, yeah, we'll see. I know I can do it. It's just, I mean, there's a lot of good talent. So it'll be fun, hopefully.
When you bowl a tournament, do you know early on where you're going to wind up? Or is it always a process? Is it always strict by the book?
So, like,
or do you have days where you're like, oh my God, I have the greatest look in the building and I'm throwing it like a goddamn princess. I'm amazing.
I get that all the time.
All right. I mean, not going to lie, for the regionals, we have a 30-minute practice session before the tournament actually starts, the qualifying block. So during that 30-minute practice session this past Saturday, I must have struck with like 5 different balls. And I'm just like, I'm looking at my sister.
Not a bad problem to have.
No. But I'm scared. I'm like, oh boy, I'm striking now. And I'm looking at my sister and she goes, her eyes are so big. She goes, nice.
Somebody screenshot that, Rob, for the thumbnail for the YouTube video. Screenshot that with her eyes bulged like this. That's got to be the video. Yeah, like that. There we go.
Damn right.
Yeah. Right. But no, I try to stay humble. It's always nice finding a line. It's always nice striking. It's always nice having options. So, yeah.
Here's my deep question. When you miss, what's your miss? Do you tug it? Do you leak it? Do you miss it? When you're like, what's your miss? And why do you miss?
Yeah. So I think I tend to miss left more than right. So I don't know. I mean, Johnny has seen me bowl before, but in my approach, I have a very long, I take a 5-step approach, but my last step is very long and I don't slide, I plant. So a lot of the time, if I'm not in time, I tend to pull down on my shot, so it causes me to tug the ball. And my last step, it shoots left to clear my hips for my swing. So I'd say my misses are a lot more left.
And is that just a 4-pin or is it a Brooklyn, or is it like on the beak usually, or is it whatever, however off time you were, really?
I would assume it's a little bit of all of those, right? I mean,
yeah, a little bit of all.
A little bit of a miss. A Brooklyn's like, oh my God, off my hand. Please touch that.
Because the Brooklyn, you almost want to miss a little too much and be like, okay, maybe I'll get away with one here, or leave a 5-pin.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah, I'd say a little bit of like
we hear a lot of top professionals always talking about, they talk about spine tilt a lot. And a lot of guys will say if they get a little bit too far forward where the chin is too far in front of, say, their belt or their knees, obviously the tendency is always to screw it into the ground. I don't use my thumb, but my biggest issue is I speed up my feet a little bit too much and my push away gets delayed. So by the time I'm at the line, the only place I can throw it is down.
So your ball starts early, I guess?
Yeah, so it's kind of ironic that somebody whose game is completely different than mine, and like literally
the miss is still the same though.
The miss is still the same. And then you take somebody like, say, Jason Couch, who is so late. He's like the only bowler who's ever been.
Right, he's planted with his freaking hand up still like this.
And somehow his miss is left, which makes anyway. It's these are the questions we ask here because we actually want to talk about the real shit. We don't need to talk about vowels and paps and lanes, fucking oil patterns.
Exactly. No countersink water flanges or anything like that. You know, the rotten stuff. I don't know. What were you saying? I don't know. It's what it sounded like I was saying.
You just mix.
I don't know what Johnny ever says either.
No. Countersink water flanges. Don't mess with it.
Phalanges.
No, flanges. Oh, phalange. Oh, fingers. Good for you.
Metatarsals as well.
Them too.
Anyway,
Carson, anything you want to plug before we let you run off? We do appreciate all of your time tonight, but let everybody know where to find you if you have any social medias and whatnot.
Yeah. Follow me on Instagram, K Lukosius Bowling. Facebook, you can also follow me. Don't send me a friend request. If I don't know you, I probably won't accept it.
Good girl.
Ocho.
If you see this guy, you friend request it, okay?
Okay. Yeah, I make all my bowling posts public, so if you're following me, you'll see them. But my personal life is personal, so yeah.
Carson,
no X, no Twitter, no nothing like that. No, you're not in the Twitter game.
I have a Twitter, but I don't use it as much.
No,
Rob says we're not allowed to use ours either, so that's fine. It's all the
most bowlers don't use Twitter. I'm just saying. That's the way it is.
Carson, all jokes aside, I really meant what I said at the top of the show. It was an absolute honor and privilege having you here tonight. We look forward to seeing what you're going to continue to do in the sport and all walks of life, for that matter.
There's going to be some good stuff coming up.
And thank you and the entire staff at Rev Rates for doing this while you're working.
Even Mike Ormsby, though?
Maybe try reactive. Mike Ormsby? Yeah. But seriously, like from the bottom of our hearts, thank you so much for being here. You're perfect. We think you're wonderful.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Anytime, Carson. Thank you.
Bye. Bye, everyone.
Yeah. Another banger, Mr. Petraglia.
She's so incredible to watch, dude.
Is she like that? She's gonna.
If you take a remote and you hit replay just over and over, listening to your favorite song over and over and over again, it's soothing to watch her bowl. She's never ever high. She's never ever low. You never see her get angry. She's just there to fucking do work. And it's
like, I think we should like put one of them heart rate monitors on her and see if she's at like 72 beats per minute, like as she's trying to ace a shot in the 10th. You know what I mean? Like, because you were asking her about it, and she don't. I don't even think she knows the answer to that, because like if it comes natural to you,
exactly,
maybe it does. Maybe the cushion is true, but maybe she's always been like that.
And
can I say this though? Like, the youth that we're seeing nowadays, they're all like that.
Bingo.
They are all smooth. They are all composed. We've seen it with D-Ron. We see it with her. We see it with the Jones, Eric Jones. This past week. I mean, it's just the youth of bowling. They're just chill, right? Like, and they're not like anything we've seen before.
Every generation learns something from the generation before it. And what's crazy now that I'm almost 40 is when I was a kid, man, all I wanted to do was run shit out on TV. All I wanted to do was do what my dad did when he bowled 300 on TV and run like 13 lanes on my knees and slide it out.
It's
right.
Almost like your ACL probably.
It's almost
you
like
trip and fucking.
The PBA nowadays knows that doesn't work anymore, which is why they build the wall one lane over from the TV.
That's true too. Yeah,
they already know nobody wants to run shit out.
It's a fist pumping thing rather than a freaking
None of these guys are in the bar after the blocks anymore. Nobody's in there singing karaoke with Wayne Webb. They're all going back. They're going to the gym. They're getting getting their macros right.
That's
and
true.
They're going to bed and reading a book.
They got the masseuse coming over to freaking work on their hammies, work on their quads. Like that's actually true. They have the foam roller. They got their freaking like their TheraBands.
Wait a minute.
Let's kind of
This person with letters and numbers says we need to talk about Tommy Pickles leading the PBA after a team.
Who's Tommy Pickles?
I think that's Brad Miller. Which, by the way, if Jeff Skyers, if you're here, we have a photo for you.
So I just saw this.
Wait a moment.
Dude, by the way,
you don't know about this.
No, I saw it. But here's
what do you mean you saw it?
I see
you
everything.
showed him? Why would you show him?
I see everything. But here's the thing.
Put it up anyway.
No. Hang on. No. Set the
say.
stage. No. Don't put it up. Set the stage. Brad Miller posted this thing about how he's done with the tour. He's like he was in a PTQ, and I purposely searched this, and he took 12th. They were taking the top 10. Rob, you know this, right?
Yes.
Or is this new?
No. Yes.
So he takes 12th place and walks into the bowling alley the next day. They're only taking top 10. 2 guys dropped out.
Yeah.
So he's now and he qualified. He's like, I actually thought I had a 9-month layoff bowling again, I think is how it went. So obviously he bowled in this tournament. And so go ahead.
And a lot of people have said, like, if the PBA doesn't take this, like if he ends up making the show and let's just say winning the Tournament of Champions, if the PBA doesn't take this and run with it, they're missing a big story.
That's right there. It literally because they already and Brad even said in his show, we wanted to show you a story of bowling on tour, and he's like, I did bad at it. He was so transparent, and I'm the biggest fan of him right now. I don't care what Johnny says. And Johnny's not a fan of it. He's a fan of every bowler.
Now, someone else who is also a fan is our Trade at 5 correspondent live from Akron.
There it is.
Jeff Skyers, who had to get a selfie with Brad today.
The Brad Miller.
With the
Jeff Skyers.
He is. He's our official correspondent.
Give a little shout out to Mike McGlynn. Mike McGlynn wrote something a couple things back. Mike, at the top of the show, I may have made a little bit of mention of it, but I will say for anybody that didn't watch the PBA 50 Tour, Major Mika Koivuniemen, after 14 games, is averaging 243 and he's plus 615. Just to put that in perspective, the guy in second place is averaging 216. So Mika is out averaging second place guy by 30 pins a game through 14 games.
Yeah.
It is. We've seen it here and there. Watch Jason Couch lead a couple tournaments by 600 pins. My dad, Parker. But, I mean, Mika, the cut of the PBA 50 Tour is going to be like maybe 30 or 40 over, and Mika's plus 600 in second places. He could literally just not show up for 4 games and still have the lead. So, I mean,
he just throw the ball in the gutter like for a few frames. Just for
Mika is so good. He's always been so good. He was good before the tour. He was good on the regular tour. I think he's won titles in like 16 or 17 different countries. Mika is a fucking bowler. He's a shot maker. That's all there is to it. He's one of the best, and I think it's pretty badass. So, Mike, thanks again for your question, brother, and thank you for always being here.
Yes, thank you, Mike. Speaking of winners, EJ Tackett on another fucking run. We didn't know what was going to happen this year because he had some tough times in the beginning of the season, but just like champions do, I mean, he's starting to win at the right time.
I thought long and hard about this because a lot of people are always judged by what they do on television. And everybody always talks about like what version of EJ is going to show up. Is he going to have the 5-count split somewhere? Is he going to bowl 190 when he averaged 230 all week? People talk about Marshall Kent the same way when it comes to his trials and tribulations on TV. But like sorry about that. I had to fix something. I guess what I'm trying to get at here is EJ makes TV so often that like the law of numbers says you can't win them all.
Right.
So we always bust his chops. And like, we're always like, oh, what kind of version of EJ is going to show up today? I mean, like Walter Ray's goal on the PBA tour was to win more than he finished second.
Yep.
If the greatest player in the world wants to be successful one time more than he's unsuccessful, EJ is – I can't believe I'm even about to say this out loud right now. When Belmo showed up, I didn't think anything was ever even capable of being in the same running. And then Simo showed up and EJ showed up. Not only do we have two different guys in the running to be a Belmo, we have two different versions. We got a two-hander and we got a traditionalist who just is so much better. They're just so much better than everybody else. It's like watching Nelly Korda play golf or Scotty Scheffler. You just know that they're going to be at the top of the leaderboard, right? Every single week. So if I've ever even said something that even insinuates anything saying EJ is not absolutely sensational, I take it back. The kid's on a fucking another level.
He's only 31, I believe.
Early 30s, man. He's his early 30s.
He's got so much time left, and he's so far ahead of 95% of the field. It's phenomenal. It reminds me of another wave like Belmo. Like a lot of people are saying, like, can EJ go on a run and outshoot Belmo or win 15 majors or win, 27, 28, and 29 titles? Can he be the next Walter? I mean, it's just the fact that he can throw, 530 revs one-handed with resin is fucking stupid. Nobody on tour can do that.
As consistently as he does, too.
Right.
So, look, man, on that note, this is my first time at Ocho and the wonderful wife's house since February. So I'd actually go and like to enjoy my Sunday night with them. I know it's Wednesday, but my Sunday night. So I'm going to bid you a farewell right now on behalf of me and Ocho. But again, to all of our viewers, thank you for the comments. Thank you for being here. This is my favorite hour of the week. I get to spend it with Rob, Ocho, and all you guys. And we always, always, always have somebody awesome on the show. And Carson, thank you again for being here. You were fabulous.
Before you sign off, can we at least do a quick Imbecile of the Week?
Yes, we can do a quick Imbecile of the Week.
All right, here we go.
It's time for everybody's favorite segment.
If you guys don't know how to use a seatbelt, just ring your call button and Tommy will come back there and hit you on the head with a tack hammer.
You know, Lloyd, just when I think you couldn't possibly be any dumber.
Here's the Imbecile of the Week.
Some people are really stupid.
As always, Johnny, these come from our favorite Facebook group, the Bowling Science group on Facebook. I have a couple here that I would like to see.
I have one too, just so you know, when you're done. Has nothing to do with bowling.
That's fair. So this was a post. Says, is there such thing as too much bowling? I bowled Thursday through Monday, and now my left hip is hurting right-handed. I don't think that should matter, but bad form or need rest? Now, when somebody posts something like that, especially in this group, there's usually going to be a couple of fuckos.
Not a stupid question at all.
I think it's a good question, but you never know what people are going to say.
In the gym world, they always are always worried about overtraining, which, by the way, anybody that goes to the gym knows that's impossible. So keep going.
Well, Marcus Snedeker responded, time to hit the gym, not knowing what this person's schedule is or if they even are training. But to me, I don't know if that was a backhanded comment, but somebody else had responded. No such thing as too much bowling. Just remember this advice: no pain, no gain. Now, we've heard that plenty of times over the years, Johnny. You've trained for quite a long time now as well. Pain is fucking pain. Pain means something is wrong, and there might be an issue, and maybe you shouldn't push it. Why would you give this advice to somebody that is hurting after bowling too much?
Because people are bored on social media, Rob. You know that. The guy had a legitimate question. I mean, when I first started weightlifting, one of the first things that I asked the guy who got me into weightlifting was, how long does a body part need to rest so it can actually rebuild, grow, and be prepared? And it's usually 72 hours for a muscle group, which is why I train one body part 7 days a week every time I go to the gym, right?
Exactly.
When it comes to bowling, bowling is a natural motion. It's like carrying a suitcase. If your span is right, if your pitches are right, if you know what you're doing, you could bowl until you die. You can bowl until you're 100 years old. We just watched Mr. 900, Glenn Allison, at 90 some odd years of age, just break the whatever record he broke at USBC this year. Bowling is supposed to be a natural motion. This first guy who's talking about his hip, I don't know, I've never seen him bowl, but if you're listening, dude, if your hip is hurting, maybe it has something that has nothing to do with bowling, but you're aggravating it when you do bowl. You know, like I stay away from lower back extensions because I have a bad lower back. So I just don't do them. So I don't squat. You know, I shy away from exercises that would make my lower back hurt, you know, or engage it too much, right? And I guess the same thing works in bowling, but everybody's game is a little bit different. So for the people, I don't think any of these guys are imbeciles, the people that answered or the guy that wrote the question. I think that the guys that answered are answering on their own behalf. The guy that wrote no pain, no gain is obviously somebody who is just going to fucking dig through it. I don't think there's anything imbecilic about it. The other guy who said time to hit the gym, that's a very, very broad statement. But in the same respect, what he's trying to say is if something is actually wrong, then go fix it. You know, a body in motion stays in motion. A body that's at rest stays at rest. So I don't think any of these guys are imbeciles, but I think that usually what happens on social media is people either answer from their own heart or they answer a question based off what they feel. They're never actually like the proper thing would have been to say, like, send me a video. Let me see if you're doing something wrong that's making your hip hurt. Does it only hurt when you bowl? Ask the questions that actually have something to do with what the guy is saying. It's quite different, I know. And after here, Rob, unless you have a second imbecile that you want to bring up, I have to go.
I do, but yeah, go for it.
Bring up your second one,
okay,
and then I'll get to mine.
So somebody had posted a video of their approach and said, "What's some tips to bowl better?" Now, I had a feeling this was going to be exactly. First comment was, "Knock down all the pins. It really helps." To which the chat kind of ate this guy up. Look, he was just asking a question. Don't be an a-hole. To which the guy responded, "Too late." Another person. Oh, nope, that was the asshole. Sorry. Real quick. Is this in here? Oh, you know what? I'll say that for next week. That's actually a legitimate question. Why doesn't bowling have the same sponsors? But
my imbecile,
yeah,
goes to JD. If you're here, I promised you I would do this.
Oh boy.
Last Tuesday, I played Cranberry Golf Club with my good friends Jeff Kubanak and JD Santa Lucia. We had a foursome in front of us.
Yeah.
Two of them were walking. We had a foursome behind us. We were a foursome as well. The 11th hole at Cranberry Golf Club is a 300-yard par 4.
Okay.
The group in front of us, I didn't make mention that the group in front of us were women. And I'm not saying that in a sexist way. I'm saying that they don't hit it as long.
Did they all try to drive the green or something?
Typically. They're on the green. So I took out driver on 11. It's a 300-yard hole. And I got it to the bunker, the front right bunker with my tee shot.
Are you the imbecile of the week?
No.
Okay.
So my ball is literally resting 10 feet from these women. And the rest of my guys in my group hit. And here comes Alan. That's his name. His name is Alan. I'm not going to tell you his last name because that would be indiscreet. But Alan rolls up behind us and says, "You guys, you're going to have to speed up. You're going to have to pick up the pace of play."
Oh, so you guys drove the green.
I literally
10 feet behind the
was
women.
10 feet behind the women putting on the
and
green.
And you now have to speed up your pace of play.
And we were instructed by the ranger, Alan, to speed up the pace of play.
I would have made a 3-iron into a bow tie for Alan because I don't hit a 3-iron.
At which point, rather than getting angry like I normally would, I said, "Alan, my ball is in the bunker, the green side bunker. You are completely out of line. Get the fuck out of here." And I rode off.
Did he apologize or say something?
And then Jeff Kubanak, who was in the cart with me, waved to Alan as we went away. So my imbecile of the last 2 weeks is the ranger named Alan at Cranberry, who decided to tell us to speed up the pace of play when I literally almost killed someone.
Hit up on the women, which that's why I thought you were the imbecile of the week for a second. Like I thought you were really good setup.
I thought you were too.
Even if I fucking fly it, I'm flying it like 260, 270, if that. That's a big one. But I happened to catch one. And no, speed up.
Alan, the park ranger. You are the imbecile of the week. Congratulations. Also, before we go, shout out to Matt Russo, Dio Bernard, EJ Tackett as well, and Eric Jones, obviously for bowling so well. We're gonna have hopefully all of them on here in the next couple of months. So it's we got a lot of good stuff coming on. Once the TOC and playoffs are over, we should have a lot of huge names that have nothing else to do but come and talk to us. But shout out to everybody at the World Series this week, and we're obviously looking forward to see Brad Miller take it home here at match play, which happened. I don't know what the results are with match play tonight, but we'll see once we get out of here where he stands. But shout out to Brad Miller, who, according to Jeff Skyers, wants to be on the show. So we're definitely going to make that happen, Johnny.
Of course he does.
I know you've been itching to talk to Brad. So
yeah, can't wait.
On that note, guys, thanks for being here. Thank you again to Carson.
Thank you. And where's Troy? Is he doing a thank you and anything?
34-12.
That's right. That's the lane play. I got you. I figured it out.
Later, guys. Thank you as always.
Good night, everybody. Doc Sullivan. You know.